Hello beautiful people, hope you're having an amazing day. You are a star. Don't let anybody dim your light. Now today I'm going to share with you my first mushroom trip experience. This time, if you watched the previous video, you'll know that I microdosed a little bit on some golden teachers, okay? And I had a blissful experience, but not enough to get the full visual effect. But today, I'm going to share with you what I experienced. Second time round, okay, this time I went for 2 grams, and my oh my, was it life-changing. So I'm going to run you through just how I took it, where I went on that journey, and then yeah, just share with you what I experienced. So firstly, this is not a this video is for educational purposes. I'm not encouraging anyone to take psilocybin, especially without the guidance of others, and without the guidance of others who are experienced as well. But yeah, let's just get into it. I'm just going to share with you what we did. So a couple of friends and I, we took 1 gram with cacao, okay, mixed it with some oat milk, and then we also had 1 gram before that. And one of them, she had already previously experienced this, and the other one, she hadn't quite tripped before, like myself. So it was good to see it firsthand happen with another person who was their first time, and yeah, it was absolutely incredible. So we went to the park, okay, we went into a little trek, and on the way there we were starting to feel the effects slowly happening. And then basically as soon as we got there, we started to feel very light. We started to feel like very like light as a feather. And as we're walking, okay, we slowly started to feel the changes. Our awareness started to become more heightened. We had a deeper appreciation for nature. And then I just had a sudden urge to want to sit down in the sun and just relax, okay? As soon as we sat down, we laid the blankets, and that's when I started to peek and started to see hexagons in the clouds. Now, what I saw was absolutely so profound. From that point on, what I started to see was almost like someone had taken the veil from my eyes, and I saw the truth. Like this is, I felt like my whole life was a lie, and this is what real life is. The best way I could describe it was like looking into a kaleidoscope, right? One of those tubes where you kind of like, you pull back and forth and then you get different shapes. Every time I placed my awareness into like the clouds or the trees, and I would go deeper inside myself, the deeper I went inside myself, the more I could see these beautiful geometric, sacred geometry patterns, right? You know, the flower of life, the tree of life, all of these beautiful patterns. I was just so mesmerized by, you could see like the intelligence of this design of the universe, and just how the mathematics and the shapes and the way that things were flowing, and just the way all these beautiful shapes were occurring and shifting. It was slightly cloudy, and all I could do was just lay down in awe, and I was just constantly in awe. I was just gasping like, wow, this is one of the most beautiful things that I ever seen. You know, like when I looked at the clouds, you could see like hexagons, and then create these other shapes like the golden ratio, where, you know, it felt like, I felt like I was in a dream. I felt like I was in like I was hallucinating. But at the same time I thought, no, this is what I felt like, this is what the real life is, you know? As much as we think we see it all, we are actually, we can only see 0.03% of the light spectrum, right? So we can only see less than 1% of reality. Could you imagine what else is happening? You know, so on the way to the park, one thing I did feel was like, when I felt the sounds of it, when the sounds were occurring around me, I could feel the waves overlapping. Like I could feel like, if like, for example, if a car would like drive past, I could feel the waves of the sounds of the car overlapping the sounds that I'm making in the car, like that. And then other things as well, like when I was breathing, I could feel like the whole life force just go in on me, and then as I breathe out, like expand outwards. Like I could feel everything. I felt so aware of my entire environment. When I looked at the trees, I could see them breathing and dancing together. One thing that I was super fascinated by was when I was looking down at the grass patch, I could see the hexagon patterns, just like I saw in the sky. It's like honeycombs, right? In the sky, when I looked at the clouds, I could see like honeycombs, like how each honeycomb perfectly shaped the clouds. And then when I looked in the grass, it's like, whoa, everything is like by design. It's like we're in a video game. It's like there's literally no imperfection. Life is so perfect. There are just layers that we see. It's like, oh, okay, it's not like as symmetrical as we like to, right? But when you start to see like the mathematics and everything, it was like, whoa, no, this life is actually perfect. Everything is coordinating, like they say in divine order. Everything's happening in this miraculous like soup. It's like a soup of shapes, pretty much. And like I could see the shapes in my friends' faces, and then, you know, when I looked at the trees, like there was this one time when we were walking through the in the nature. Like as a kid, I always loved ferns for whatever reason. I just so fascinated by the beauty of ferns, just the detail of the plant. We came across this one tree that looked like a fern, and it kind of broke over. And as we looked at it, we just stared at it, and we're just like, wow, this is a perfect this is a perfect tree. And then my friend started touching it, and then I was just like, wow, that felt so satisfying for whatever reason. Just, I think the experience, we could feel the experience on a greater level without even touching it ourselves. And yeah, it was just so beautiful. It made me, one download that I got was, you know, I always wondered, like, how did all these ancient cultures similarly create, or not create, or share the same symbol of the flower of life, right? So if you look here, like you've got the flower of life, this beautiful symbol that you'll see everywhere in a lot of spiritual communities. They'll have this symbol, and there was at a point when I was looking at the clouds, I could see like a flower of life, and I could see all these beautiful sacred geometry. And a lot of ancient cultures would have like things like mushrooms in their not scriptures, their paintings, or their hieroglyphs, or whatever it may be, in different continents around the world. And it just made you think, like, these people were probably so much more advanced because they were using these psilocybin fungi to enhance their awareness and remind themselves just that life is mathematical, right? Nikola Tesla would always preach, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, and also the significance of 3, 6, and 9. You know, for example, 3, 6, and 9 always somehow are significant in like shapes. For example, if you look at a triangle, okay, if you look at a triangle, you've got 3 angles, right? And each angle, right, is 60 degrees, right? When you add the 3 sixes, what do you get? you get 18. What does 1 and 8 add up to? 9. All right, and then if you look at it, for example, a square has 4 angles, right? And each angle is 90 degrees. What is 9 times 4? It's 36. What is 3 plus 6? 9. And just, I was so mesmerized. I was just so, I started, at one point I was just tearing up because I got to share it with my friends, and I felt like, wow, like I got to see the truth. Maybe my experience, maybe that's just what I visualized. Maybe I could have been hallucinating. Maybe it's not true. Maybe my mind just created that, you know? But I felt like I was just so happy to see something that, I guess, in a safe way, because the mushrooms help, I guess, unlock things that you don't normally see in this sober state, all right? We're pretty much drunk most of the time, but our brain has computed our minds to see things in a more safer way, because we're constantly processing information all the time, but our mind's just projecting what it already knows, okay? And what it wants you to see, so we can navigate in this cluster of energies. And that's what I realized a lot as well. Like, people talk a lot about, oh, everything is energy. Energy cannot be destroyed, it can only transform. And when I saw that, like, when you see it firsthand, it's just overwhelmingly beautiful to see. Like, that's all it is. It's just energy shifting. Like, this is not my body. The universe, God, me, created this through just moving and shifting and experiencing and doing what's going to take this universe further, right? It's all about evolution. It's all about expanding. It's all about growing, and we're always constantly finding ways to improve that experience. And that's what the flower of life is about. It's all about experience, you know, having different reference points to create this beautiful symbol, okay, that's going to help expand this journey where we're at, where we are. And yeah, it's just, I highly recommend that. Well, I don't recommend, but that's just what I experienced, and I'm just so thankful. You know, I was so resistant to it for a while. I had a good friend who was always journeying on mushrooms, and I thought, oh, I'm enlightened enough. I'm spiritual enough. I don't need this. And at some point, I just thought, okay, you know what? I've got the time, the space. And when it's the right time and space, I'm going to be open to it. And I had zero expectations going into it. I know that's one of the reasons I had a very good trip. One of my friends, she didn't have the best trip because she was so excited and she had huge expectations of what this was going to be. And honestly, I just made sure that I was grounded. I had good intentions. I just let the fungi take over my body and allow me to go and just surrender. That's all I did. I just surrendered to the experience, okay? And when I did, it was profound. I was so joyful. I was so grateful. I didn't have as much giggles as the girls did, but from just the visual, I was just in awe, constantly in awe, just how beautiful this universe is and how everything's just perfect, everything by design. You know, I realized that OCDs, most people that have OCD, okay, just are really trying to fit into this mathematical world of how structural it is, this matrix, this entire matrix, the levels of the matrix. And yeah, it just expanded my mind into a place where I'll never go back. And I'd love for most people to feel this 24/7 and just see how lucid this world is. You know, over the last few days, I've had the most incredible synchronicity. And you know, the more I surrender, the more I let go to the universe, the more magical it becomes, the more flowing it is, and the more that I trust that it's working out in my favor, the easier life is. And it's so wonderful to be able to do that in this lifetime, you know, and not regret any decisions that I made, and, you know, trust that whatever's next is gonna work out. It's always working out. And, you know, if you ever do have the opportunity to do something like this, like I said, you know, make sure there's someone there that's done it. Make sure that, you know, you take it in safe doses, okay? Don't overdo it, you know? And do it in nature. Do it where there's lots of sun, where there's some beautiful clouds, some beautiful, beautiful trees, and relax, enjoy the trip, you know? Or maybe not, maybe just take this experience as something to expand your mind about what this world is really about, because, you know, a lot of times we're taught, you know, we are this body, okay? We are human, or we are, this is the only life, you know? That really, for me, that really verified to me that there's levels to this where you can go further, you know? I think what I saw was maybe only like 5% of what is there potentially, because I've been told that you can go further and deeper, and you can get way more experiences. You can even get negative experiences depending on what's in your subconscious mind, you know? And I think the more pure you are with your own intentions, your thoughts, your heart, the more beautiful your experience is. I know that one of my friends who did it, she loved it. She was just like, I'd love to feel this 24/7, and she's got one of the most pure souls, you know? Not to say the other one didn't, it's just expectations, you know? The lower you expect, the lower you have your expectations of anything, the universe, it just creates space for more beautiful things to naturally flow and birth into your existence, because that's all it is. All things are just happening. They're just happening, you know? So yeah, that was my first trip. I wouldn't even count the previous one as an experience. It was more like a blissful high. But this one, man, definitely would like to take it again and then share with you what I experienced there, and, you know, share this knowledge, because I think once you realize that, you get a greater peace of mind of what this reality is, and see just how beautiful it is. And, you know, the next day I just felt like I didn't want to really do anything, because, you know, a lot of the stuff we do today isn't really that important. We keep ourselves busy, distracted, for what? You know, for what? What do we keep ourselves busy and distracted for? When really, nature is the truth. That's what I gathered from that. Nature is the truth. The universe, you know, the desire to grow and expand. That's, for me anyways, that's what I love. And, you know, instead of doing things to keep me busy, when in reality, you know, unity, love, and really just expanding our mind and going to the next level, however that is, okay, is gonna take us closer towards that consciousness where we can experience all those amazing synchronicities, all those amazing things where it just flows, and you're always in abundance, and you are in touch with your environment, your surroundings, and the people you're with, and the connections that you have in your life. So yeah, that's my experience on mushrooms. They were the golden teachers, the golden tops. Let us know, have you tried psychedelics before? Have you tried anything like this? Have you had hallucinations? Have you had a bad trip? Have you had an amazing trip? Did you speak to the trees? Did you speak to the plants? Did they communicate with you? Because I know everyone has a different experience. Everyone has a unique experience. Let us know. Leave a comment. DM us. Let's hear about it. Let's talk about it. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Much love. Stay woke, blessed, and alkalized. Peace out. I appreciate you. Take care. Speak to you soon. Peace out. Zaki says everything's gonna be alright. Isn't that right, Zaki? It's all gonna